looking at how the world's biggest football clubs are literally transforming the game from the ground up. I mean, we all know football is about the emotion, the history, and millions of fans coming together, right? But the actual business behind where those fans gather, it has reached staggering new heights. Today's mega clubs aren't just spending on world-class players anymore. No, they are building absolute architectural masterpieces worth hundreds of millions and sometimes even billions of dollars. Seriously, what if a stadium costs more than an entire city's annual budget? Just imagine the sheer scale of that kind of investment. From a $350 million historic fortress to a billion-dollar sci-fi masterpiece, these modern arenas are changing sports as we know it. So today, we're counting down the greatest, most expensive stadiums on the planet. And listen, you'll definitely want to stick around because the number one spot on our list is going to leave you absolutely speechless.
Coming in at number 5, the power of historic tradition, featuring Anfield. So we're kicking off our global tour over in Liverpool, England, where the club has poured a reported $350 million into redeveloping Anfield. And honestly, this entry is fascinating because it proves a great point. You don't always need to start from scratch to build an absolute fortress. I mean, this place opened way back in 1884. It's not just a venue, it is a deeply ingrained cultural home. Through these massively expensive expansions, they've bumped the capacity up to over 61,000. But the real genius here? It's how beautifully they've preserved that historic, incredibly intimidating identity instead of just paving over it with something generic.
The big takeaway here is that history and tradition can be just as valuable as flashy, futuristic tech. When you hear that famous "You'll Never Walk Alone" anthem echoing through the stands, especially rolling down from the legendary Kop stand, which, by the way, is widely considered one of the loudest sections in all of world football, you realize something. They didn't just spend $350 million on steel and concrete. They spent it on amplifying the stadium's legendary soul. Moving on to numbers 4 and 3, global architectural marvels.
Jumping over to Munich, Germany, our number 4 spot goes to Bayern Munich's Allianz Arena, which comes with a hefty $435 million price tag. Now, if you look at it, the stadium actually looks like a giant, futuristic, inflatable cushion. And that is 100% intentional. The entire exterior is made from thousands of these high-tech, air-filled ETFE panels. The coolest part? They actually glow. They can shine bright red when Bayern Munich plays, or flip to a brilliant white for the German national team. It's just a massive visual spectacle for the 75,000 fans inside. This is a brilliant illustration of how diverse modern sports architecture can be. On one hand, Munich goes all in on thousands of color-changing synthetic panels for that high-tech, space-age vibe. But then, if we head straight down to South Africa, our number 3 stadium, Soccer City in Johannesburg, goes in a completely different, but equally amazing direction. Instead of glowing tech, it embraces incredible cultural artistry by mimicking the shape of a traditional African calabash pot.
Officially known as FNB Stadium, Soccer City was built and renovated for roughly $440 million, and the scale of this place is just breathtaking. We're talking seating for a massive 95,000 fans, making it one of the largest stadiums in all of Africa. And of course, it's forever etched in history. This is the very site of the 2010 FIFA World Cup final where Spain took down the Netherlands, not to mention it's hosted some truly massive concerts and deeply historic political events over the years.
All right, on to number 2, the billion-dollar frontier, Miami. As we cross the ocean over to the United States, I want you to notice the massive escalation in money here. We are entering an entirely new financial stratosphere. Think about it. Traditional international marvels like Anfield at $350 million and Soccer City at $440 million, they are completely dwarfed by the projected $1 billion budget of Inter Miami's new home, Miami Freedom Park. We are literally talking about more than doubling the investment of some of the most famous stadiums in Europe and Africa. So what exactly does $1 billion buy you?
Well, that kind of cash builds an absolute behemoth of a complex. We're talking integrated hotels, high-end restaurants, shopping areas, office space, sprawling parks, and dedicated entertainment zones. Driven heavily by Lionel Messi's arrival and the absolute explosion of football's popularity in North America, this project aims to be one of the most advanced venues ever constructed. It's designed to be a year-round destination. The goal here isn't just to lay down a pitch, it's to build an entire self-sustaining economic ecosystem.
Before we reveal our top pick, let's quickly hit some iconic honorable mentions. These are venues that are seriously pushing the boundaries of global architecture. You've got the pre-modernized Santiago Bernabéu acting as a historic cathedral in Madrid. Then there's Wembley Stadium in England, totally defined by that massive, iconic arch looming over the London skyline.
Over in Barcelona, Camp Nou is undergoing a massive historic renovation right now to keep pace with the modern era. And of course, in Atlanta, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium boasts one of the most spectacular retractable roofs in the world. These venues really map out where the future of stadium design is heading, constantly raising the bar for the fans.
And finally, number 1, the ultimate football fortress.
Bringing us right back to Madrid, Real Madrid's Santiago Bernabéu has undergone a modernization that is worth well over $1 billion. It is completely transformed from a historic, classic football cathedral into an absolute technological behemoth. Honestly, the sheer scale of this renovation is kind of hard to comprehend until you look at the specific features they've installed. They have completely redefined the game, the fan experience, and, frankly, the limits of modern engineering.
The engineering is just staggering. They built a state-of-the-art retractable roof, which means matches go on no matter what the weather is doing. But the absolute craziest part? They literally hide the grass pitch underground. They store it safely in a climate-controlled, multi-level greenhouse right beneath the stadium. This means they can host massive, sold-out concerts and major events without ruining the playing surface. Add in the massive 360-degree video screens wrapping around the interior, and you've got a fully immersive, unforgettable fan experience.
At this point, the Bernabéu totally transcends being just a football stadium. With its billion-dollar tech and insane multi-use flexibility, it's really the ultimate futuristic entertainment hub of tomorrow. It essentially sets the gold standard for what a modern sports venue can actually be. So as we wrap up this explainer, I have to ask you to think about the different approaches we've explored today. What's your style? Do you prefer the roaring, deeply rooted historic tradition of a $350 million Anfield? The glowing cultural marvels like the Allianz Arena or Soccer City? Or are you totally drawn to the billion-dollar sci-fi tech of the Bernabéu in Miami Freedom Park? The game is constantly changing, and the homes of these legendary clubs are evolving right alongside it. Thanks for hanging out with me on this incredible tour, and keep an eye out for how these architectural marvels continue to shape the sports we love.